Hey everyone, News Director Doug Jenkins. I'm out at Challenge Champions in between Gilboa and Ottawa here. I'm with Amanda Sizemore. She's the director of the program. It's an equine therapy program. And I heard Amanda talk at a recent Chamber of Commerce meeting, and I thought this is a very interesting program, so we're out here to learn more about it. And that's kind of the subject of these Facebook interviews. We're just going to bring out the iPad and talk to interesting people about interesting things in the community.
Perfect.
So, Amanda, thank you for joining us. Go ahead and get the microphone right up to you there,
Okay.
just like Bob Barker's talking to you. I guess Drew Carey now.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, actually, this is a kind of an active day for you guys. You have a group from Van Buren in here today. Tell me a little bit about what they do and how that benefits them.
Sure. So here at Challenge Champions, like Doug said, we do therapeutic horseback riding for veterans and individuals with special needs. This past year, we served 382 different people that came through our barn. But today, Van Buren Elementary students are out here, and I think a lot of people wonder what's a horse going to do for them. But the coolest thing about the horse is when the rider sits on the horse and the horse starts walking, the rider's hips start moving in a typical walking motion. So anybody with impaired mobility, it's absolutely huge for them. There's no machinery in a doctor's office that can replicate that motion.
Well, that was one of the things you brought up at the chamber meeting, is that it's not only just a therapeutic thing to do, but also physical therapy. There's a science behind it.
Yes, absolutely. And we actually have an occupational therapy assistant that just joined our staff, and she does one-on-one, more medically based treatment on the horse. So it's pretty neat to be able to do that.
So let's talk about a typical week out here at Challenge
Sure.
Champions. Obviously, a Van Buren class here today, but you're bringing in classes and groups all throughout the week.
Oh, yeah. So we've grown immensely. So we have classes up to 6 days a week now. Mondays, we have groups from Patrick Henry schools, and then we have evening classes. Veterans are coming out during the day. Tuesdays, we have 7 hours of class with Liberty Benton schools coming out, and then private sessions as well. So.
And not just groups. You had mentioned you have veteran, or not just classes, but you have veterans groups come out here as well.
Yep.
Tell me how this is beneficial for area veterans.
Sure. It's really neat. So the horse mirrors kind of what picks up on what your participant is doing. So especially if you have anybody that comes in that might be a little anxious, you can't be anxious around your horse because your horse is going to be anxious too. So when you get the horse out, and if I see my horse is anxious, I know that rider is as well. So, because the horse is fight or flight. So he's thinking, what do I have to do to make this situation better? But when you're with the horse, you want them to calm down. So you're talking to them, you're working with them, and in turn, you're calming yourself down as well. So it's a really neat mirror to have that horse there and work with that.
So you've been here now 21 years, or as you say, the program's been here 21 years. You've been here for, what, 6 now? Or
yeah,
no, longer
6 going on 7,
years.
I believe.
How has this program grown in the amount of time that it's been here?
Sure. So back in, 21 years ago, our executive director started the program. She actually didn't even have a barn to have the program. She used to go to the local fairgrounds. She served 8 special needs participants that year. And like I said, we've grown to 382 participants we serve in a year. We built a nice barn with a heated indoor arena that we have. So rain or shine, all year round, we can have participants coming here.
Interesting that you mentioned the barn. You guys were able to do some additions back here,
Yes.
sort of as a result of the 2007 flood. In fact,
Yes.
if you look behind me, if you look at where the white paint goes down and all of a sudden you get the brown, that's about where the water was
Yes.
back in 2007. Now, after that, you guys did some renovations here then.
We did, yeah. So we had to do a lot of repairs when that happened because the Blanchard River runs right behind us.
Right.
But we were able to add a classroom area. It's very nice. So especially when schools come in and they have more riders than we can have on at one time, they can do activities in the classroom. Parents can watch their riders from there. We have a nice wall of windows so they can watch everything that goes on.
A lot of volunteers that work out here
Yes.
as well. We see people. We've got 3 people each
Yes.
with each person who's
Yes.
riding. Tell me a little bit about their roles and how they come here.
Absolutely. Without our dedicated community volunteers, we do not have a program. So what we do is we do training. You don't have to have any horse experience to come here. So we do training. We have somebody that leads the horse because not all of our riders can control the horse entirely on their own. So they make sure the horse stays on task. We also have, depending on the needs of the rider, sidewalkers that stay directly next to their legs. They can help with balance, reiterate directions given by the instructor, help with stretching and activities.
Of course, the biggest part of the program, the horses themselves, that is, you've got to have a special type of horse, I would imagine, to be able to do this type of program where it's all very calm and relaxed out here.
Yes, absolutely. So we've been very fortunate. Many of our horses have been donated to us, but we have to go through a lot of training because our horses have to be put in some stressful situations. So to make sure that we're working on some motor skills and those types of things, we might play basketball on our horse or throw beanbags off of our horse. We have to make sure the horse is accepting of that and is accepting of a rider that might pull a little too much or sit unbalanced while they're on them.
Right. So if people want to be volunteers or if they want to donate a horse or get involved in some way, shape, or form, what's the way to do that?
So we have a website, it's challengechampions.com. We're also on Facebook. You can find a lot of our information there. You can give us an email, call me in the office here, and we'd be able to chat about the options.
And then the other thing, obviously, when you're working with equestrian and you're working with facilities like this, that's not cheap. Right?
No,
just
not at
on
all.
its own, equestrian is not cheap. Then you've got the different aspects that you tie into the special needs students and groups that you're bringing in. I'm sure that funding is certainly something you want to keep driving. How can people help out in that regard?
So we do several fundraisers throughout the year. We're coming up with our annual mud run. It's like a warrior dash.
Oh, all
we
right.
actually do that right here at the farm. It's a 5K. We have mud pits, mud slides, all sorts of obstacles. The fire department even comes to hose you down when you're done. So we have lots of fundraisers. We have to write lots of grants, and we're an agency of the Hancock and Putnam County United Ways as well.
Awesome. So again, check out their website. And if people would like to get their groups involved, I know you have schools already involved, but like you've mentioned, other groups that take part. What are some of the ways that they can get in touch with you too? Again,
you can get our office phone number or email me, and we'll just put something on the books, get scheduled, and if you want to volunteer, we'll get trainings down.
All right. Amanda Sizemore, Challenge Champions. Again, we're right here in between Gilboa and Ottawa. It's an excellent facility, and hey, it's a beautiful day out here for these students to be taking part. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
All right, and if you have a subject that you'd like to hear us talk about on these Facebook Live chats, we'll come up with an official name for it at some point, I'm sure. But right now it's just Doug finds something he wants to talk about and goes there. Maybe that'll be the working title. But if there's a topic or something happening in the community of interest, feel free to make a message on this Facebook post. This will be live, of course, on our Facebook page. And, of course, you can always email me, too, at dougjenkins@wfin.com. Appreciate you tuning in today. Amanda, once again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now the awkward transition to the off button.